Hi everyone and welcome back to my vlog. If you've been following me and if you've never come across me before, I am someone who decided to change career, took some time out, went on a couple of years of self-discovery, and now I've decided to go down a coaching route. So I've set myself up as a life body coach. Body because I have a interest in what our body has to say, not just what our mind thinks, which because the mind thinks constantly, but the body is also having an experience, and I'm more about bringing that experience in. And that's because the body helped me realize what I needed more of in life, and I guess I'm dedicating some of my time towards honoring that. So in a nutshell, that's kind of who I am, what I'm about, and I've set these vlogs up to help me speak my truth, because that's one of the aims with my coaching, is to help my clients realize what their truth is, like I realize for myself, and I am constantly realizing every day. And yeah, this is an outlet for me to speak my truth, and kind of also just observe my journey a little bit more. I think I'm more of a 4D person sometimes. I do like a bit of journaling, but I find that when I make videos and watch them back about how I'm feeling and what I'm going through, I get something out of it as well. So that's why I've set these vlogs up. So that's, in a nutshell, a little bit about me, because I haven't done that for a while. And I think today I feel that I would like to start off with a bit of a mindful practice, because this is what I like doing outside of vlogging as well, and I thought I'd bring that into this, and you are more than welcome to join in with me right now if you'd like to. If not, then you might just want to skip the next few minutes. So I'm actually going to take my glasses off, and this is just going to be for a few minutes, so it's just kind of helping myself arrive into this vlogging session, and maybe help anyone who is watching arrive here as well, because our mind can be sometimes distracted and elsewhere. So helping all of us to arrive in the moment. And I'm gonna just take a nice little breath in and out. And I'm going to take the attention to the feet first. And just notice the contact that the feet are making with the ground. And now just follow that awareness up through your feet, into your ankles, into your legs, the calf muscles, the fronts of your legs, up into the knees, along the backs of the legs, and maybe noticing the contact that the backs of the legs are making if you're sitting on a chair or maybe sitting on the floor. Just noticing that contact. Taking the awareness to the fronts of the thighs. And maybe noticing the contact that your hands are making if they're resting on the thighs. following that awareness through the fingertips, through the palms, into the wrists and the lower arms, into the upper arms, up into the shoulders, into the neck, up the front of your face, into the lips, the nose, the eyes, the forehead, and then the top of your head. And then noticing the attention going down the head, the back of the head, down the back of the neck, and into the top of the back, across the shoulders, and if you're sitting on a chair that has a back to it, just noticing the support that you're getting from the chair. And maybe just leaning a little bit more into that support that's always available. And following that awareness into your lower back. And then round into the front of your body, into your chest space. And then down into the abdomen. And just allowing your awareness to settle into this space. And if you're doing this with me, allow yourself to now come back to where you are gradually. And then open your eyes when you're ready. And I think just before I start talking about something, I'm going to name how I am feeling. I'm feeling quite at peace right now, feeling quite settled. And I'm also going to name the sensation that I'm feeling in my body right now. I felt a little flutter in my chest space, maybe around the heart, just as I started talking about how I'm feeling. I'm also feeling a few sensations in my temples at the top of my head. Feels a bit heavy up there. I'm also noticing the tips of my fingers, just a little bit of tingling there. So this is a exercise that I came across whilst I was doing my somatic coaching course. We actually call it a lead-in into something that's called focusing. And if you want to know more about that, just Google focusing and somatics and you'll come across all kinds of information. And yeah, ever since we learnt it, I love like starting something, whether that's like this or a conversation, like a coaching conversation with somebody. I do like starting it from that point sometimes. I kind of just follow my intuition. If I feel like that's a good place to start something, then I bring it into the session. And often the feedback that I get from people that I'm working with is that they are feeling a lot more present in that moment and in that session. It's not always a case of starting it like that, because sometimes people arrive and they've got something that they want to speak of off the bat, and that's also okay. But I just think that there's something quite presencing, obviously, about this mindful practice, because you're becoming more aware of the rest of you. There's constant chatter in the mind, right? So this practice enables that chatter may still be there and continue, but it kind of just takes a step back, because the invitation for the rest of the body has been brought forward and it's been given space to speak, because there's always something that the body wants to say. It's just a case of us allowing ourselves that space to listen to what it has to say. So on that note, I am going to just feel a bit of gratitude, not just a bit, a lot of gratitude around allowing my body that space and hearing areas of it. Like I said, the temples, and just that little flutter that I got because I knew I was going to say how I was feeling to whoever's watching this. And then there was this little bit of tingling in the fingers, and yeah, it's just interesting to note those things. I mean, we can put meanings on them how we want to put onto them, and everyone's going to do it in their own way. But I think sometimes there is something about just allowing those sensations to be felt. And as I mentioned, focusing is a practice that enables you to communicate with parts of you to elevate that conversation, really give it focus, hence the name focusing. And if I was with a coach right now who did that, we would be definitely going into a conversation around my fingertips and my temples. And I think it's quite an amazing technique. It brings to light parts of us that aren't necessarily able to rationalize what is actually going on within, and our brain is trying to, as I said, put labels on things, put meanings on things, and you can obviously go with that, or you can just allow yourself to just listen and just observe and just feel, and that's enough for a shift to occur. If that's what you're looking for, it might not be, and that's absolutely fine. But I often find when either I have experienced like being the person that's having focusing done to them, or if I'm helping someone and using the focusing technique, there is often this shift, as I describe, often this change of state. So a learning has occurred in the background, in the backdrop, and it then perhaps changes the way in which I approach a situation. Might not happen all the time, but I think just enabling the body to have space and to speak is enough for some element of communication to have happened, and not being so attached to, okay, I've unveiled this in me and that will then lead me to something else. I think what I'm learning with this focusing approach is allowing, like trusting that a process is occurring here, even though you can't see it necessarily, even though to the mind it doesn't seem to make sense. Just allowing that trust to carry you through into whatever what you're moving into next, and just appreciating that something is occurring, and with time and with more listening, and allowing your body to take more space, more then becomes available. It's almost like this intangible magic ball sometimes. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, kind of imagining like this orb or something in your body, and then because you're allowing that trust to build, that orb just becomes more bright and starts shining a little bit more through each and every cell within your body. And I think that's kind of what some of my journey has been, in terms of where I was a few years ago and how I used to view the world, and feeling like I need to be able to control most outcomes in my life, and if I don't do X, Y, and Z, God knows what will happen. I think one of the biggest learning curves for me has been just allowing yourself to completely let go and not know the answers to absolutely everything. And as I said earlier, like building this partnership with the rest of you. So it's always there, the body's always there, but actually proactively wanting to hear what it has to say and how it's feeling, and what you can do to maybe help yourself more. Because I didn't know a few years ago what I wanted to do with my life, and I kind of still have moments of that, as I said a few weeks ago. And I'm just noticing that the time is probably going to run out on this recording, so I think I'm just going to leave it